Now at 6, the former Hartford police officer, now charged with manslaughter, is expected in court this morning. We'll have the details coming up in a live report.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is going to be a great day. We are so glad you're started off with us here at Fox 61. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Bridget Bjorla. Hope your morning's off to a great start. It is the first week of June and finally starting to feel like it weather-wise. We've been waiting for it. It's here and it's going to feel a little bit like summer later today, right, Rachel?
Oh, most definitely. Temperatures getting up to close to 90 degrees, maybe just a little bit shy of it. And we won't have humidity to go along with the heat, but the combination of the sunshine that we are expecting plus the higher temperatures, it's going to be a hot day on tap for us, and that'll be the case for the next few days or so. It could be close to a heat wave today. We'll determine, well, at least the next 3 days will determine whether or not we get there. Temperatures today getting up to around 89 to near 90, 91 on Friday, and we get even hotter on Saturday as well. A live look outside over in Hartford with a mostly clear sky. It's another day where we expect abundant amount of sunshine. 55 degrees right now in the capital, and the wind remains around 3 miles per hour. 52 in Waterbury now, 50 in Torrington, not too far off. A little bit of a chill this morning, very similar to yesterday. By noontime, we're getting up around 80 degrees, so we're going to warm up rather quickly, and then towards this evening, temperatures get up into the mid to upper 80s. If you have outdoor plans later on today, make sure you keep those kids hydrated as well as yourselves as well. 85 degrees in Southbury, 83 in Litchfield, 89 in Hartford, upper 70s to near 80 degrees along the immediate shoreline, 80 in Ledyard, and 85 in Griswold. 91 on Friday, dry, and then we are tracking an opportunity for a few spotty showers as we head through our weekend, as well as for a better opportunity for rain on Sunday. It is not as hot as on Sunday either. We'll talk more about that chance for rain coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02 on our roadways this morning. We are following road work here, still wrapping up now on 91. So there is some road work here on 91 southbound between exit 19 and 17. It looks like the road work here on the Merritt or Wilbur Cross in the area has cleared up. Live look outside this morning, still showing the cones there in the Middletown area. So give yourself a little extra time as the left 2 lanes are blocked off now. Right lane getting by slowly. So volume is up at this hour because of it. Erica.
Rachel, thanks. 6:02 right now, and a former Hartford police officer charged with felony manslaughter in the death of 55-year-old Stevie Jones last winter is expected in court today. Now, this is coming weeks after a report released by the Office of the Inspector General determined that his firing of 9 shots at Jones during a mental health crisis was not justified. Fox 61's Aaron Coogan is joining us live right outside Hartford Superior Court. Aaron, what can we expect to happen there in just a couple hours?
Yeah, well, what's so significant about today is this is going to be the first time we see former officer Joseph Magnano on the other side of the law. His arraignment scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning. However, despite the OIG's findings, he's maintained his innocence through this entire thing. So we could very well see a not guilty plea entered on his behalf to keep this thing moving through the judicial system. But as you mentioned, taking things back, Magnano is accused of unlawfully shooting and killing 55-year-old Stevie Jones while in uniform with Hartford police on a mental health call. Taken into consideration in the OIG's ruling as to whether or not to proceed with a criminal case or not, the fact that Jones was wielding a knife, ignoring police, and was not stopped by multiple failed attempts to subdue him with a taser. However, in Magnano shooting 9 shots in Jones's direction, hitting him 6 times in the chest. The report goes on to conclude the former rookie officer had ample space to continue de-escalation tactics while maintaining his distance from Jones. The IG also acknowledges the presence of 3 or more officers in the immediate area with their firearms drawn, mitigating the risk to Magnano. Now faced with a Class B felony manslaughter charge, if convicted, Magnano could face 5 to 40 years in prison. Again, that hearing this morning is expected for 10 o'clock, and we're going to keep you updated on air and online at fox61.com. Guys?
All right, Erin, we'll be watching that case closely, as you will. Thank you. New this morning, Erin Stewart is in more hot water as Connecticut Attorney General William Tong has opened an investigation into the former New Britain mayor. This is over the handling of a charitable fund bearing her name. The investigation follows a series of recent allegations involving financial practices during Stewart's time in office. Let's check in with Fox 61's Glenn Kittle. He's joining us live in New Britain with the very latest. Glenn, good morning.
Good morning, Bridget. We know that Attorney General Tong is working with the Office of Consumer Protection to make sure that the charitable fund that former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart ran, the Trophy Fund, was used properly for those donations. Investigators say they found 2 different bank accounts. One account was managed by the Community Foundation of Greater New Britain. The other, a checking account at M&T Bank that was also called the Mayor's Trophy Charitable Fund, but was not affiliated with the actual charity. Attorney General William Tong and DCP Commissioner Brian Caffarelli say their goal is to ensure charitable donations are used as donors intended, and that the investigation will follow the facts while, quote, without any regard to politics or personalities. As part of the investigation, Stewart has been subpoenaed to provide a deposition. Investigators have also subpoenaed M&T Bank representatives and requested information from the Community Foundation. The inquiry comes amid a growing list of questions about financial decisions made during Stewart's tenure as mayor. Last month, current mayor Bobby Sanchez announced alleged financial mismanagement within City Hall. That includes claims that a former tax collector backdated tax payments and at times acted at the direction of the mayor. There were also documents that revealed thousands of dollars in purchases made with a City P card for items including clothing, gifts, a Peppa Pig birthday party that were listed as office supplies, along with about $10,000 in fees paid to the Hartford Club. More recently, records showed Stewart received more than $30,000 in tuition reimbursement for a master's degree earned while in office, despite the city saying it has no policy providing tuition reimbursement for municipal employees. Now, at this point, no charges have been filed against Stewart. Right now, investigators say that this is currently a fact-finding inquiry. We're going to bring you the latest information on what we know so far. We have reached out to Mayor Sanchez's office for a word on this latest investigation into the former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart. We'll let you know if he reaches back out to us. Live in New Britain, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Thank you. In New Haven now, the mayor's office says it fired a city employee over her alleged misuse of a city credit card. The city says Latha Swami, the director of the city's food system division, the mayor's office says she admitted to making at least $5,000 of unauthorized purchases and violating city practices and policies. This is after a review of credit card records, and we're told those purchases were for personal use. The city isn't saying what she bought until a police investigation is complete.
A sexual assault scandal at an Avon daycare continues to grow. We've learned new disturbing details in this case, and we're choosing to not share some of that information because it is graphic in nature. Fox 61's Kate Fattyfoot is breaking down what the latest arrest warrant reveals.
These arrest warrants detail the graphic nature of the sexual abuse victims as young as 3 allegedly went through. Victim 1, who's 4 years old, said Giancarlos Barrios Otero touched his privates during nap time on March 30th, and that's when the investigation started. Giancarlos Barrios Otero was arrested for the 3rd time last week and now faces a new charge: aggravated sexual assault of a minor. All of these reported incidents happened at the Bright Path Daycare Avon location. In the warrant, it says Victim 1 mentioned in March during his bath time with Parent 2 that Mr. John, who the children and teacher refer to as Barrios Otero, touched his privates. The parents initially thought this statement was just Victim 1 being silly or referencing the former employee helping him use the bathroom. On April 1st, Victim 1 went into detail about the alleged assault to Parent 1, including Barrios Otero moving his cot close to Victim 1 and that it happened during nap time. The warrant said Victim 1 held up 10 fingers to show how many times he was touched. When Victim 1 got home, he told Parent 2 and said the same thing. Investigators say he would assault the boys in the corner of the room during nap time. When Associate Director Maddie Ferris was made aware of these claims, she checked surveillance tapes and saw exactly what was reported. Latrice Grumley says she's familiar with the case. She's the executive director of Capital Child Development Center in Hartford. She says certain protocols have to be followed at daycare to ensure the kids' safety. When it comes to how close Barrios Otero was to the kids during nap time,
there's no reason that a staff person would necessarily have to be next to a child or that close to a child during that time for the whole time or even for long periods of time.
She also said surveillance videos need to be checked often.
Appropriate protocol at least once a week to view, go through footage just to make sure. But soon as someone gives a complaint or a concern, say for instance a parent or another staff member, I would definitely say right away.
State police say one common theme in meeting and speaking with victims' families, Barrios Otero almost always tries to get into the homes of the families to babysit. This victim brings the total to 6, but lawyers believe there are many more out there and urge families to come forward. In studio, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
6:10 now, and we've learned that a hot pot was contraband. That was the item was discovered just before an inmate attacked officers at Cheshire Correctional Institution on Monday night. Now, that's according to the union that represents the injured officers. They say staff were attempting to issue a receipt for the seized item when the inmate became violent. The union says the inmate entered an officer station and punched multiple officers in the face. In a statement, a union spokesman said, quote, "It is emblematic of a larger safety crisis driven by chronic short staffing, the continued influx of contraband, and the state's failure to provide correction officers with the tools, resources, and support they need to do this dangerous job safely," end quote. At least 6 officers were injured trying to restrain the inmate. 4 of them went to the hospital for treatment. This incident is still under investigation.
At least one person is dead and another is hurt after a shooting in Milford. Police say it happened at a home on East Broadway Street. People who lived on the street for decades say they've never had an incident like this happen before. One man said he knew the people who lived in the home.
Sandy's great people. She's owned the house 25, 26 years, and her significant other, Fred, was a good guy too. So this is shocking all the way around. Nothing ever happens on East Broadway unless it's fireworks related, so this is a big deal.
Milford's police chief tells us officers have searched the home for evidence. The woman hurt in the shooting is being treated at a hospital. And still ahead on the Fox 61 Morning News at 6, a closer look at oil prices this morning as tensions escalate in the Middle East. What experts say it could mean for the global economy.
Also ahead, are you looking for work? More than 200 part-time jobs are up for grabs. We're going to have more on the hiring event next.
Big changes are taking shape in West Hartford Center, why business owners say they are frustrated that the construction during the busy summer months is still ongoing.